Hi friends, welcome back to the studio. If you are new to Polymer Clay or you've been trying it out and feel a little frustrated, I hope this video will help you find some comfort. Do any of the following apply to you? Your clay feels like a piece of rock. Your work is covered in dust. You're not sure how to stick two pieces together. After baking, there are cracks or your piece breaks easily. After glazing, your piece feels sticky. I want you to know I have experienced all of the above, and I've definitely cried over a few broken charms. So today I will share with you some things I wish someone had told me on day one. Grab tea or coffee, and let's get into it. Problem number 1. Your clay feels like a piece of rock. Okay, number 1. Have you ever opened a block of polymer clay and when you try to press it, it feels hard as rock? Or worse, it just crumbles in your hands? I used to think that it meant the clay was expired and unusable. While it's true that older polymer clay can become crumbly, here are some ways that you can save it. That hard clay needs to be conditioned. Think of it like waking up the clay. Instead of trying to mash the whole block and hurting your hands, try chopping it into little pieces and squish them together. Roll it out, fold it, and roll it again. When rolling it, the heat in your palms helps to warm up the clay. Eventually, your clay will feel smooth and soft enough to work with. But how do you know when your clay has been conditioned enough? You can do a bend test. Roll the clay into a snake and bend it. If it bends smoothly instead of snapping, it's good to go. In fact, even if your block of clay does not feel hard, you should always condition it properly before you start any project. This avoids other problems like cracking, which I will talk about later in this video. Different brands of clay will require a different amount of conditioning. For example, Fimo Professional tends to be harder than Sculpey Primo and will require more conditioning time. The easiest and fastest way to condition clay is to run it through a pasta machine. But for serious polymer clay artists, this is an essential tool to save you lots of time and pain. But if you're just starting out, your hands are more than enough. Problem number 2. Your work is covered in dust and fingerprints. If you have ever tried to make a white polar bear and it ended up looking like a gray dust bunny, you know what I'm talking about. Polymer clay seems to pull dust out of thin air. This is something I will not skip before every project. I wipe down my work surface with rubbing alcohol and kitchen paper towel or baby wipe, and I clean my tools as well. Then I wash my hands thoroughly and dry it with a kitchen paper towel again. Remember not to use regular hand towel because that will cover your hands with lint again. But if you do get dust on your piece, you don't have to start over. Simply use a cotton bud and dip it lightly in rubbing alcohol. Use it like an eraser to gently rub over the areas with dust and fingerprints. I have a full video on keeping your clay clean if you want more tips. Number 3. You're not sure how to stick two pieces together. There is nothing worse than baking a cute little character, taking it out of the oven, and the moment you touch it, an ear falls off. Here is what I didn't know. Simply pressing two pieces together isn't enough. You have to do something called blending the seams. This means dragging the clay from one piece onto the other so they become one solid unit. If you can't blend it because it ruins the shape, use a little bit of liquid clay to act as a glue. Problem number 4. There are cracks on your piece or it breaks easily after baking. If your clay breaks after baking, it's usually because it is underbaked. The clay needs to get hot enough for it to fuse together properly. If you bake at a lower temperature than recommended, it doesn't cure properly and it stays brittle. So make sure you are hitting the right temperatures on the package. Place an oven thermometer in the oven to help you ensure you have the right temperature. You can also make a little tent out of foil to regulate the heat and avoid burning your pieces. Always place your baking tray in the middle of the oven. Cracks can often appear due to thermal shock from taking the piece out of the hot oven too quickly or from air bubbles trapped inside the clay during sculpting. To prevent this, make sure to condition your clay thoroughly to push out air and always let your piece cool down slowly inside the oven post-baking. Last but not least, a sticky glaze. If you want your pieces to be shiny, please do not use nail polish. Instead, look for a water-based varnish like Varathane or what I normally use, UV resin. These are safe for clay and will keep your pieces shiny and not sticky. With UV resin, make sure you are curing with a proper UV lamp that has a high wattage. If you use a weak lamp, the surface might feel tacky even after 5 minutes under the light. And cure each side for at least 2 to 3 minutes. I also think that the brand of UV resin matters, so do your research and experiment to find the brand that you like. I have been using Osbang and Mr. Resin on my Sculpey Primo clay, which have worked great for me so far. I've linked a video below about glazing polymer clay if you're interested. So those are the 5 things I really wish I knew back when I started. I hope this saves you some frustration and helps you enjoy the process more. If you have a struggle I didn't mention, drop it in the comments, and maybe I can address it in my next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more clay videos like this. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!